Well, good afternoon, everybody, on this overcast, cloudy Saturday. I'm
We got
John,
this.
the traveling handicapper, and above me over there at Monmouth Park live. Maybe he's got a Monmouth pick for you guys also, in addition to
Oh,
the Churchill.
I might,
Freddie
I
Bro,
might have one.
how is Monmouth?
Oh, it looks fabulous. The bus trip was very nice. We had 25 people from the Hibernian Club come here as we do every year. Uh, Sponsored by Cases Pork Roll. They sponsored the bus trip. Tommy Dolan does a fantastic job. Of course, he's here mostly smoking a cigar and betting horses. That's mostly what he does when he's here. Um, but it's hey, listen, right now there is no rain. If there is any rain, it's not supposed to come until 4 o'clock. There's a decent card here. If this stays, dry, there's some good turf races. There's a couple nice races to look at. But we're here today to talk about Churchill Downs, John, right?
Yep, we're going to do the late pick five at Churchill. The scratches are in. Some big ones that we will go over as it comes up.
Sure.
We covered a race yesterday with a 5-horse race with Splendora and Shred Dinar. Thought they would battle each other, and we were hoping for the two to come running up there. With that being scratched, Shred Dinar should have it its own way. Immortalized should sit a perfect pocket second. Poor Regal, the 2-horse, I don't know how he's going to get into the race in a 4-horse race with no speed. So maybe we'll have to wait another race to catch Regal in a full field where, she could close in that race. But right now it looks like Shred Dinar's race to lose, and it looks
Yeah.
like a cold harness race lineup number exacta. So it could be 5-3 around the track. And, that would be a good race to fade and just watch as a fan. So
I agree,
any
John.
thoughts on that, Fred?
No, I agree. We both hoped the 1 and 5 would be to get Regal up there, but now with the 1 out, the 5 is probably just going to get the lead by herself, and should be 1-5 or 1-9. Who the heck knows with a small field like that? And anybody who's watching, who watches our podcast, or you don't have to watch our podcast to understand that you have a horse that basically says, "Hey, nobody's going to go with me. I'm going to go to the front." You can rate him, gear him down, push button the horse when it's ready to go. I mean, that horse scratching changed, Splendora scratching just changed the whole element of that race. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she's going to go in the Molly Pitcher. They're
Is
saving
that
her for the
right?
Molly Pitcher at Monmouth
Okay.
on Haskell Day.
Okay. Well, she must be okay then.
Yeah, she's fine.
Well, good. Okay.
All right, we'll start out with thanking our sponsors here before we get going. Let me take the banner off. You can see on the bottom, Cases Pork Roll, who also helped sponsor the bus trip that Fred is on from the
Yes.
Hibernian Club.
Thank you, Thomas
Say
P.
hi
Dolan.
to Tommy Dolan in the picnic ground. Say hi to him
Yes.
for all of us. And
They might
thank
be
him in
watching.
person for the sponsor of this, the vape shop. Is Alicia on the trip too, or?
She went to, I believe she's down Wildwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the vape shop, Alicia, who, if she was free, she would have been on the trip as well. So
Absolutely.
thanks
She's
to
a
them.
ball. She's a ball.
And then up the top, Brisnet.com, the Handicapper's Edge, which gave you a nice winner on Wednesday for the Brisnet Pick of the Day, $11 winner. So tune in next Monday and Wednesday for the Brisnet Pick of the Day as well.
Yep.
Well, let's dive right into this Churchill Downs race number 8, the Stephen Foster late pick 5 at Churchill. We're going to start out with the American Derby, a mile and a 16th on the grass. Keep in mind that it is going to be a softer giving turf course. It's not going to be rock hard. The turf is beautiful, but it will be a lot heavier. So stamina is going to come more into play. Some of the horses that you are not sure of being able to get the distance are going to be a little bit more challenged with this heavy track. A lot of times a fast, firm course, they could carry their speed to distances that you would not really expect. But now you got to really be able to handle this distance on this heavier track. So keep that in mind when you're playing all the turf races today. I'll start out real quick on race 8.
Sure.
Apley Land is the horse to beat. His last 4 races basically did nothing wrong. The American turf, when he ran into those grade 1 monsters, remember Mamba, Honey Dutch, and Stark Contrast, any of those in this field, would be, odds on. Apley Land here dropping down to a listed stake race, turning back, as actually his mile and a 16th races, his last 2, he did get beat. He's a better miler. And here's maybe going against what I just said, that can he get this mile on a 16th?
Right.
So now there's a little kink in that possible armor of Appleland, who looks like a universal single for a lot. Basically,
Okay.
The one horse got dusted by Appleland fair and square. I don't know how that he's going to turn the tables. The 4-horse Thunder, 1,000 Sticks, had a perfect trip, got the trip he wanted it, and still folded up. So I don't know how he's going to turn it. Bust Out is that California horse that's improving, but the California sharp, hard turf courses coming over to this boggy Churchill course, that's going to be a tough ask there. So basically just leaves you, Appleland. So I'm going to use the 6 Appleland, and I'm going to throw in the 8-horse because he's the proven, one that can, getting better and better. Can he handle this East Coast? So 6 would be a strong push, but I'm going to add in the 8 as a possible upsetter, even though he is coming from the West Coast. I just don't trust anybody else here.
That is a strong angle that you often use all the time, John. West Coast horses coming to the East Coast. First of all, not good in a normal circumstance, even worse under the circumstances that most likely will be at Churchill Downs with the turf being listed. I don't know what it's listed right now, but it's likely to be good at best. It's not going to be firm for sure. I went a little deep here. I had the 2 of my original ticket. I got rid of 2, 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. I like 1,000 Sticks. I think this horse third off the layoff. Brian Lynch has been hitting on all cylinders. When him and Brian Lynch and Louis Saez hook up together, they hit at 52%. That's insane at Churchill Downs. 25 races, they hit at 52%. Man, everywhere else they hit at 33%. There's only been 5 races outside of Churchill Downs. And anytime Louis Saez and Brian Lynch hook up at 6-1, 2, 5-1, whatever it's going to be, I agree with you. His last out, he probably had a perfect trip and for whatever reason did not finish out. But nevertheless, third off the layoff, he had at least, it worked out a couple times since the last race. So apparently he's okay. So I went kind of deep here. I went to 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. The 9 Brave Force with Tyler Gaffalione. If a speed duel breaks out, I think this horse has a chance to close into any speed duel. I mean, he has the highest late, especially with the 2 scratching, highest late U.S. time form figure of 106. So I went a little deeper than you on this race, John. So you can see it up there, our ticket as it looks it up. JK went with the 6-8. I went with the 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. My best pick is the 4.
I think, based on that scratch later on Cornucopia, I did have the same exact start. I was going to try to beat Appleland. And if you beat Appleland, you almost got to use a bunch of them, just like you did. For me to handpick which one out of the 4 that can step up, which they all have grounds to be able to step up, I picked the 8. So maybe my ticket structure is not great. I should just go all in on Appleland or do what Fred did and cover them all. Because if you beat Appleland, your pick 5 is going to start off unbelievable. So that's probably the way to go. If I had another single in the Cornucopia race that he scratched, which I don't, then I would have did the same exact start as Fred. So if you got the budget, use 5 or believe in Appleland. That's the way to play it here.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's go on to the next race, the 9th race. The Vango Grade 3, 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. In this race, I also went deep again, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. The scratch of the 2 Cornucopian had me open up. He was listed as 1-1, number 1 prime flyer +6. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. There's no question with that horse out of the race. I think the race is more wide open. My best pick is the 3, 12-1 with Louis Saez again on board. 123 U.S. time form pace figure, early pace figure. There's other speed in the race. I don't think this as good a speed as this. Basically 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. I left out the 4, which probably the 4 is going to win now.
I would not think that. But all but one bit me so many times, and I say I'll never do it again. And for budget purposes, I do it, and sure enough.
Well, what you went all, John? No, you went 3-7 here.
I just did 3-7 here because I was single in cornucopia. I thought the 3 on the 2 off tracks at Churchill Downs in the slop, 102 and 107 speed figures. Loves
Sure.
Churchill Downs, loves the wet, and one of the lone speeds. The thing I hate, no Lasix. He's been running the Lasix his whole life, taking Lasix off. Is the horse going to bounce off that 102 as a 6-year-old? Is 6.5 furlongs too far? So there's some negatives and some positives. The positives I'm going to go with because I believe he likes the track, lone speed in here. And I got a lot of question marks against a lot of the other horses. I think Dr. Venkman is going to be prepping for something, down the road.
Sure.
I don't know why he shows up across the country in this spot. But Mark Glatt knows what he's doing. But Joel Rosario on a closer against lone speed, I don't want to take him at a low price.
Nope.
Built is the other interesting one. He put it all together, but again, no Lasix. Look at his race 2 back with no Lasix, where he ran bum. Other than that, on the dirt, he's got 3 wins in a row with Lasix. He was on that Triple Crown Trail last year until he faded off of it. So a big contender that really doesn't like the slop. His worst races were, in the slop. But that's the Pate Mile and the Lecomte, and which wasn't a terrible race, 2 by neck. So I'm going to include him because I have, knocks against the 1, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm basically down to the lone speed and maybe Built. If he could sit a perfect trip second, he could get to the lead top of the stretch. So I'm going to try to get through with 3-7 here.
Oh, I like Built. I think Built could sit a good trip. And of course, when you have a good jockey on Built, like you have, all right, Ortiz on that horse definitely has a good chance. So I went deep. You went 3-7. We're still, both of us can be alive. We like when that happens. Next race, the Wise Dan. I love that horse, Wise Dan. That was a good horse. Mile 16th on the turf. Here, I went with the 1-2-7. I mean, Laganos looking to win 5 in a row. Hard to look past that horse, but I kind of like this. I used the 7 Fort Washington. I think Fort Washington has a good chance if the speed duel does break out. The 1 is going to definitely be the speed of the speed. He's got a pace. Got a chance possibly to get to the front end and maybe not look back. So that's why I used him. But the 1-2-7 is on my ticket. The 2 Lagados, obviously you went all here, John. Talk about why you went all.
I've been trying to beat Laganos the last 4 times, and he just gets his nose on the wire and just keeps beating us. And, Minaret Station, who closed last time, I would have got my Vegas seat if Laganos didn't open up top of the stretch, and Minaret Station almost ran him down. That would have got me there. So Laganos is my Achilles heel here, and he's won 4 in a row, and I missed him every time. So either, you believe in him and go with him again. And I liked a couple horses in here with some angles. Couple I really didn't like, but I said to myself, if I finally beat Laganos and try to pick a couple horses and I miss it and actually beat them, I'm going to be kicking myself. So my ticket structure is the all button here, trying to beat Laganos. I would like the 1 horse. I think it is the lone speed. Mike Maker stretching out. How much is he going to improve the horse off of Brian Lynch? Anybody else, I would have thought it'd be leaps and bounds, but but Maker stretching out with Saez, lone speed. Laganos always. And let's see, Dresden Rowe, he got good all of a sudden in the last 2 since he came back on the grass on Keeneland and Churchill. So I think he's got a big shot. And I was fading horses like your pick there, Fred, the 7, the 8, but all button. Just if Laganos gets beat, I want to make sure I have it. But my main picks would be the 1, the 2, and the 6 here. I would go with the 1 and the 6, trying to beat Laganos.
What do you think, John, about the 8 Brilliant Birdie? I mean, he's 5 for 7 at Churchill Downs, 3 for 6 at the distance. Our friend B.J. Hernandez is riding him. That's why I did not use that horse at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cherie DeVoe and Hernandez for sure. But I don't know. This horse is a 5-year-old, hasn't took a step forward, just been running average races. And as like one of the, 8-1 morning line, it's going to be one of the favorites. If if he gets some play and drops down into that 5-2, 7-2 range, then you might look at him. But if he stays cold on the board at the 8-1 morning line, I would probably pass on him. But we won't be able to tell that because we're betting pick 5.
Yeah, right, exactly.
On a less of a ticket, I would not include trying to beat him. On a lesser ticket, I would include the 1, 2, 3, and probably the 6. But I do have the all button, so I'll be cheering for the longest one.
All right, I'll be cheering for you too, John. Well, hopefully we can both be alive. The next race is where we're going to separate from each other. The big race of the day, the Stephen Foster Grade 1 $2 million race, about an eighth on what appears to be a sloppy track. I'm just looking right now at Churchill Downs. Boy, that track is extremely wet. There's a live feed right now here from Churchill Downs. I don't know which race it is. I can't see, but it's definitely going to be a sloppy track. So in this race, I singled Magnitude. The scratch of the 6 and 7, I think, were huge. The workouts after coming home from Dubai indicate this horse has come back with no problem. Jose Ortiz is back on again. I singled this horse. If I get through this leg, I'll be deep in the next leg looking for some will pace, John. How do you like this race?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot yesterday. It's just going to be a great race to watch as a fan, cheer for, watch. Hopefully the 4 big guns all turn for home with a fair chance and let the best horse win coming down the lane. I could just see in my original ticket when Cornucopian was in, that was my single. I was going to use the 3 and the 5 because I think the 5 is going to trip out and get possibly the best trip in here. And I just, fearful that Sovereignty, second time back, going to be cranked up. And Godolphin didn't bring him back as a 4-year-old to, keep losing races. So I would think they got him cranked for this one. I think Sovereignty is the best, whether he can run down Magnitude, who in my mind is going to get the lead top of the stretch. And then you're going to have Magnitude and White Barrio breathing down his neck and Baeza coming from the clouds. So I could see Magnitude getting the jump top of the stretch and Sovereignty valiantly closing for second possibly. But I just think, Sovereignty's such a great animal that I will single Sovereignty to try to beat Magnitude. But I agree with Fred's synopsis there. If you want to double the price of the ticket, you definitely include the 3 and the 5. If you want to single Apley Land to start, then you could use 3 and 5 here. So
yes, ticket
different ways you
structure.
can approach it. But I would
ticket
think
structure.
5.
You talk about that all the time, John. Ticket structure. There you go.
The hardest
Perfect
thing
example.
I switched my mind so many times today with these scratches, and hate to lean on huge big favor, but sometimes you got to do it. And I think the turf races could cause the chaos that we're looking for on that heavier turf course. So go short in the dirter races and go as many all buttons as you can.
Well, John, you went to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You left out
all
the
but
1
2.
and
All
the
but
2.
the 1 and the 2.
Well, the Woodstock. Come on, it's raining. Come on, Woodstock. Jeez,
Yeah.
that could be a hunch bet right there.
And that's Joe Sharp too. That's a 30-1 Joe Sharp horse I'm throwing out.
Yeah, well, listen, at strength of races that horse has been in compared to other races that other horses have been in, I think fade a little bit. I'll go with my ticket first since I went a little bit deep, 3, 4, 5, 9. I love the 3 East Jabip, Ireland bred for Brian Lynch, who's been training really well. You put a Rat Ortiz on that horse who's won twice before. Last time, I don't know what happened on a mile on the turf. Louis Lyons rode this number 1 prime power from Brisnet. I don't know what happened, but my point is, I think this horse is ready. He came back after that race, ran a nice 47.3 second bullet workout. Well, not bullet workout, but a good workout, and has not missed a beat since then. June 7th, June 14th, June 21st. I think this horse is sitting on a big race, and at 4-1, I'll take that. Of course, I also like the 3, 4, 5, 9. The 4 final quarter with Pratt. Can't leave him off. He's got good strength of race behind him. The 5 is a long shot. We're looking to win 4 in a row. I think he possibly is a little bit overmatched by the quality of horses in this race, but he likes Churchill Downs. He's 2 for 2 at Churchill Downs. So no other horse has won twice at Churchill Downs other than that horse. So he's 15-1. I would like to come into my pick 5, be alive with him, and also use a 9 Tam Tam. Philip Bauer, Junior Alvarado, highest last rate speed rating. and last time had the highest buyer speed figure in the race, but came in third place behind Faithful Departed, who has run really well. And then this race was a grade 3 race. He, I think, is the only horse who's run in a grade well other than 8 ground support. But that horse scares me a little bit, ground support. He ran a hell of a race. I didn't use him, but 3, 4, 5, 9. But that 8 ground support without a seizure on him, I ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf and ran pretty well. Came in third, not disgraced at all. So I kind of left that horse out. Now I'm thinking about it a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, ground support's the question mark for me. I mean, very classy, but if you missed him at 100-1, then you miss him at 12-1, then he ran his eyeballs against, the Breeders' Cup 24-1. Now off the long layoff, you're going to take this horse at 2-1, 3-1. That's a tough ask. I mean, he's going to probably have to beat me. I'll use defensively as well as the 3. I do, find cases for the 3, the 4, the 5 with Luis Saez and Grant Forrester. He finds spots for his horses. The horse is going to be forwardly placed. 15-1 with Saez and Forrester. I would definitely include.
And 2 for 2 of Churchill Downs.
Yep. And the forwardly placed on this turf might be by the 12th race, you're going to know if it's a speed favoring boggy turf course, then you're going to have the right one there. The 8 is a question mark for me. 3 in a row for How About Now? 8-1. That's, another one that he just got good on the grass. Tam 5-1 is probably the value and maybe could be the best horse in the race. Why? At 1 mile and 1/8, they took back to third when it was the lone speed. And, we used him in that race figuring he's going to be the lone speed. He decided to take back 1 mile and 1/8. He didn't have his, normal kick. So I would expect him to be, maybe on the lead, turning back to a mile.
I think he'll be in front. He'll be in front today. I think he'll be in front today. Junior Alvarado doesn't make the same mistake twice.
But my top pick here will be the 10 horse. Use Me, the Irish bred, Brendan Walsh. If you watch the Keeneland Maiden Breaker, where it just exploded with a turn of foot, like, amazing in the stretch, to go from 5th to winning by 2 on a mile grass at Keeneland was, visually impressive. Then in the Hilltop, not a great ride by Tyler. Just took him back on a paceless race in a 6-horse field, took him all the way back, tried to make that exact move again, but they were going so slow on the front, nobody could close in it. He did pick up 5 lengths. He did close 22-1 his last quarter of a mile. 22-1. If you break down the fractions of what he did, the running line don't look like it. 6x7, 5x6, 5x2. Basically looks like he just plotted around there. But they were going so slow, everybody sprinted away. He's the only one to make up ground and close in 22-1. If he does that in this race here against more of a pace setup, then, I think this horse is pretty good. And with that Irish breeding, the soft turf should not be any trouble, for this horse. So I'd make the 10 my top key, and I do like the 9 with a better trip here. I'd be about the 10 and the 9 here, but go as deep as you can. Ending the pick 5 would be great to have.
Well,
almost the all button.
John, you went deep here. Obviously the race of the day is the Stephen Foster, and that's going to separate our tickets. One of us will get through, or neither of us will get through. We'll see how it goes. But at any rate, John, as we always say, good luck. John, any final words?
No, just looking forward to, a good day today of racing, maybe more as a fan today, but hopefully the turf races, we get some chaos and we structure our tickets right and the others fall into place like we expect it, and have a good day. And Friday, hopefully the weather holds out in the picnic grounds at, beautiful Monmouth Park. I mean, if you walk around that facility, what a great facility Monmouth Park is. And just a shame the racing never got to that level of the way the building is.
Well, I think Monmouth Park as a venue is underrated. There's so many places to, like you said, when you walk around the building and you check out the different sites, there's no question the place has a nice ambiance to it for fans. Obviously, in a picnic ground, you can't beat that on a nice day like today. We hope it stays that way. Tomorrow, we will be at Aqueduct, John.
I can't wait. Yep. Got our tickets on my counter, waiting to go. PP's printed out. So we will, we'll try to do a live, podcast tomorrow from there.
We'll talk to Sean. Sean Miller, editor-in-chief of Capital Sports Network and also of Sports Talk Florida. He handles everything. Why not? It's the last day at Aqueduct. That'll be a hell of a podcast to do there. We'll talk about that as we get through the afternoon. Let me get back to the boys at the picnic table, see what's going on. But as we always say, bet smart, cheer hard, fast horses can equal some serious fun. And in the end, we just say, hey, let them run.
All right, guys, thanks for joining.
All right. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Good luck.